let's look at and see what we came, converting our degree minute seconds into just degrees. So I know it's going to be 23 point what? 2 degrees. It's going to be 35 point what? 4 degrees. 118 point, whoa, big one. And 48 point,
59.
Perfect. Good job, guys. So overall questions on going back and forth with that. And hopefully you have it written down in your own words down at the bottom so that when you are looking at this on the homework or the extra problems that I have that I will give you later in the week, you will not have a problem with that. Maggie? Not on this. This will be exact. This will be exact. Good question. Okay, this page. You've been there, done this. Okay, so this is one that I know that you've seen before from Algebra 2, utilizing the unit circle. And our activity that we did on Friday with the licorice, we took the piece of licorice and you measured it out the length of the radius of the circle, and you were guesstimating a little bit on that. I get that because it wasn't exact. We didn't find exactly the center of the circle, but you had a good estimate. And on each one of those angles, how close, give me an approximate degree measurement of 1 radian. 60. Approximately 60 degrees. To be a little bit more exact, had we found the center of the circle, had we used better measuring equipment than just a protractor, you would have found the radian to be actually 57.3.
Oh, that's the number I was getting more.
So getting close. So your approximate of 60, very good approximation. And so that was the point of that activity, was to get a figure, a relation of what is a radian as we go through. So we're going to now, on this back page, convert from degrees to radians. And the one thing that you need to remember as you go through on this is that if you are in radians and you want to go to degrees, you want your radians to cancel. You want your radians to cancel, so therefore your radians needs to be in the denominator. Whereas if you're in degrees and you want to convert to radians, now you're going to want your degrees to cancel, so the degrees need to be in the denominator. So here we want to cancel radians. Here we want to cancel our degree. And how do I know just by eyeballing it if something is in radian or degree? What symbol is there? Pi, if it's in radian measurement. So I'm actually wanting to cancel pi if I want to convert it into degrees. And so if I want to cancel it, if I want to get rid of it, that's what goes into the denominator. Now, one thing, let's set this straight. When you write your answer, you will not be getting a decimal for me. For some of you, that's going to eliminate the calculator because you will not type in something times pi divided by 180. If you get a decimal, it's going to be wrong. I won't even look at it. It's going to be completely wrong. So you need to leave it in fraction form, and if it's in radian measurement, the pi needs to be there. All right, so for instance, how many radians is 50 degrees? So I'm starting with degrees. So I want to cancel out my degrees. So I know that the degree is going to be in the denominator. So I multiply by pi over 180. Because the degree then cancels. And anything, here's just a little hint, just so we don't get so dependent upon our calculator. If they both end in 0, what can I automatically cross off?
0.
The zeros. So I'm left with 5 pi over 18. Can 5 divide it into 18? Nope, I'm finished. And this is how I want it to be represented. It is not 5 times pi and then divided by 18. Nope, this is what pi is pi is pi.
Yeah, but like, and then just change the pi.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I see what you're saying, just for the computation part of it. Yeah, yep. So this is how I want it to be represented. Now I want to go from degrees to radians. I'm sorry, I lied. I want to go from radians to degrees. So I have 7 pi over 12. I'm in radians, so I want that to cancel, so the pi's in the denominator. 180 is in the numerator. because I want my radians to cancel, my pi to cancel. Then I look at how many times can 12 go into 18? Well, maybe I don't know that off the top of my head, but I do know that 6 divides into both. And I know that 2 can go into 30. So I'm just left with 7 times 15. 7 times 5 is 35. 5, carry the 3. You're left with 105 degrees without a calculator. Please don't be so dependent on a calculator. Your degree measurement isn't going to be as bad as far as decimals and whatnot. It's when you're in radians, you need to leave it in terms of pi. Okay? So what I want, you now, again, I kind of went through that fairly quickly, but I know that you've seen this before. Number 1 through 12, you have about 10 minutes left, a little bit more than that. I would like you guys to be computing that out, again, leaving that in terms of the pi in your answer or in degrees. And again, being fairly picky, if it's in degrees, if you do not show me the degree measurement symbol, I will be taking points off of that on the quiz. Okay? Because it's very important that you represent that as degrees. Okay?